looked at corners in many issues from many angles, in many ways, but again, traction in corners is a big one where people fear losing traction, and in doing so, actually contributing themselves through their tension, through their anticipation of the slide, almost encouraging the slide through their emotional sort of state. But there's a few physical things we can do to make sure, and we're just going to recap on those because some of those we've talked about to a large degree. Obviously we're leaning the bike into a corner, and if I lean my weight inside, particularly if we've got a slightly off camber, slightly rooty corner, there's a potential there that things are going to drift away from me pretty rapidly. That front wheel is going to wash out. The main thing we need to think about there is when we do lean the bike is making sure our mass and weight stays over the centre line of the tyres. And we've looked at how by coming around this side of the saddle and compressing into the corner, we can make sure that the tyres flare a bit and give us some traction through that section. So footwork, massively important, our body position, pretty important there, and energy management, driving energy into the bike, squashing the bike into the corner is going to give us more grip. Quite tempting and quite a lot more intuitive when you're under threat is to back away from things. And if I back away and lighten up on the roots as I go into the corner, that's when I'm going to get some slip. The other biggest single factor for washing out your wheels, which we've looked at before, we'll just demonstrate again, is if I've got a fairly good grip on that tyre when it's leant over, I've got quite a long edge there. An effective edge, a bit like a ski, you know, it's got quite a long point of contact. The bigger your wheel, the longer that point of contact is going to be. If I look down as I go into the corner and feel the roots and steer one way or the other, that edge is suddenly very much shortened. And the net effect is where I've got grip, it dissipates. The tiniest movement of my bars at this point here, and she's gone. I'm on the deck, the bike's over there. Either way, or we fold it under ourselves and we end up landing on a bar end. Not particularly pleasant. So commitment there is really important, but it's tied into looking. If I look down, I'm more likely to react with a little flinch, and if that little flinch is what makes my wheel wash out, then let's just stop looking at the route and look through the corner, and that way, that good traction we've got will be maintained through the corner. So by combining good levels of commitment, good footwork, good body positioning, and a calm state, a committed state, and a level of confidence, we're much likely to maintain traction. My body's going to stay more fluid if I don't hold my breath, if I'm not tensing up, and again, the bike's more likely to move freely below me and be driven in the direction that my body is pushing it, driving the bike through the corner rather than trying to steer. Another potential enemy of grip is camber. When the trail is sloping away, very easy for the bike, or it is possible for the bike to start sliding down the slope when you want to be going the other way, when you want to be traversing across. For those of you that ski, it's kind of a similar approach to skiing across a camber. Weight on the downhill ski, well, we're not wearing skis, but we have got a pair of pedals. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my outside pedal and put my weight on that, or my downside pedal and put my weight on that. I'm also going to lean the bike into the hill slightly so that my mass is pushing down into the tyres that are leant over, my mass is pushing down into. I'm going to keep my head, shoulders and hips looking to where I want to go, might even turn them slightly up the slope, and the other thing that's going to help me get through here is not dallying too long on them, so a little bit of momentum. Certainly I don't want to decelerate. As with so many sections, deceleration is not going to help the situation. We want to accelerate through here, so I might be get my set-up speed up here, ride along, and I should be able to hold this line here between the two trails, which ordinarily I wouldn't do, but I'll give you a good example of just what you can stick to and just how well you can deal with camber. Again, if you're relaxed, if you're committed, if you get your core skills right and you use your core physical elements to their optimum, get the most out of your equipment and get the most out of your own performance, put it all together and you're going to ride smoothly, hopefully, over quite severe cambers. And you can practice this on banks that are down the side of roads. You can just see what sort of camber your bike will stick to, and it is surprising to some, certainly novices, just what sort of camber your tyres will cope with if you set yourself up right. Hey.